5 days a week.
Right.
5 days a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to go back to that, so you will make sure you work like a dog to get everything done. You
Not
could
see.
have them three.
I think I think this was visited before because here's where the 12-hour shifts come in. So 3 days a week, but then you're tired for the one day,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the option. You had your 5/8s, 4/10s, or 3/12s.
So I'm
I
actually,
would probably take the 312s.
At this age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah,
I
I
did
feel like
not.
it depends on the type of, if it's a labor job, like a physical labor job, that's different. But I actually just met a lady who works 7 days on, 7 days off. And she said she's been doing it for years and it works for her.
I did that before. It does. You
You
got
know,
when you're ready to quit, you got a whole week off to think about it.
right,
I'm on vacation next week. Just don't call me to come in.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that would work because then you don't have to worry about putting in for using up all your vacation time because you could just go on vacation during your week off.
Yeah. It was split though. So it was Wednesday to Wednesday.
Okay.
It wasn't like Monday through Sunday. It was Wednesday to Wednesday. So it was like half the week. I guess you could kick it for the weekend.
Yeah.
Worry about nothing. But then they call you and then you go in on your week off. And then it's like, oh my gosh. I'm so committed.
I'm out of town.
So committed. Would you say, Nick?
I'd be like, I'm out of town.
Awesome. I'm on vacation.
Exactly. It's
So
my vacation.
okay, I ain't mad at you at all. Well, I got an injection in my eye.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Baby, listen, I don't wear contacts. That's why I be wearing glasses. I refuse to go to the bifocal. That's why y'all see me with glasses on my head. I just use them when I need them. So I was having an issue with this eye. And I got a diagnosis, which is really good. What's my issue? It's like looking through here's your male's medical moments, real quick. I can knock it out right now. It's like looking through a teardrop, or like if a storm and your wipers don't work because you know they old and raggedy. You like, I need to stop, but I'm gonna hold on to it. So that's what it's like. Do y'all remember the time I came on? I was like, I cannot see y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just his eye. So anyway, it ended up being a diagnosis of retinal vein occlusion, something major. I was like, oh wait, what does that mean? I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but what it is, it's almost like a blood clot and vein in the eye.
Ooh.
So be careful if you're a diabetic. You guys know I'm a type 1. It
I'm
can be different, high blood pressure. So it doesn't have to just be a certain type, but just be careful. Anyway, put this needle in my eye.
Ow.
And I told them, I said, so what you should not do is tell me what you're going to do
Right.
after it's done. And I was like, okay, so, and that's how they inject the medicine. But let me tell you, they numb the eyeball. Like just the whole thought in the process is interesting. So I decided to ask the question. Now I told y'all that. So I decided to ask the question to the guy that's in there, and I said, so what made you get into the eye? Younger guy. I said, what made you interested in the eye? It just didn't seem, looking at him, it doesn't seem like he'd be like, you know what, I want to work on my eyes. And he told me he needed a job. Follow me.
I ain't mad at him.
Wait a minute. Follow me. Come on down this rabbit hole with me. And he said he needed a job. And he was looking in there and it said, hiring ASAP. He said, and I looked, he said, I couldn't even pronounce the word. So I was like, well, they're hiring ASAP. Let me just call. He said he got the interview. He got the interview, got hired. He used to be an exterminator for bed bugs down in West Virginia. If listen to the audience, listen, if y'all can see Nick DuBois's face, you'd be like, wait a minute, what? And he explained everything that was going to go on with my eye. And I just happened to ask a question. Big mouth, me, Miss Inquisitive. Hey, so what made you get into this? I probably shouldn't have let him ask that question. But anyway, he did that's why he sat there, boom. He said he was in West Virginia, being an exterminator, came up this way where I'm at, and this looked in the paper, looked online, saw that they were hiring. They continued to be hiring. He went in for the interview, got the job, great personality, got the job, and has been there for years.
Okay. Yeah. So he had no clue as to what he was doing. They just hired somebody and just like that's what we're doing.
On the job training. Wow.
That's what we're doing now. When it comes to medical issue, that's what we're doing now. World, like.
Well, guess what, honey bunny? You ready for this one? He has been there for years. He knows his stuff and had it together. Now, had he told me all this information prior, I'd have been like, goodbye. You ain't fooling me. I don't even want you touching nothing. But the moral of the story is that no matter if you are or if you feel unqualified, God will make you qualified. He had on-the-job training, got all his schooling in there, and he's not the ophthalmologist at all. He's the assistant. He travels all over. When I say he knows his stuff, he knew it, and I was so impressed. I was so doggone impressed that I asked the question. So, to my people out there, if you want the job, go after it. Let's get this show started.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
Hey, everybody, Joe, where my gum?
I have pineapples and watermelon.
Oh, you doing
That's
it?
breakfast.
Okay. Go ahead. That's healthy, not for the diabetic with the watermelon, but that's healthy.
It is. The watermelon is supposed to be good. You're supposed to eat some at night because it actually works on the fat while you sleep.
That's for weight loss. But as a diabetic, honey, your sugar gonna be over the top. You're gonna be like,
yeah, I know.
I have chocolate mints. So
from the Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Oh. They still put those out?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad they didn't cut costs after COVID. Hey, listen, we got to talk about what's trending. We're going to talk about this whole East Liverpool thing. I'm not East Liverpool, Lord forgive me. East Palestine.
Child, they talking about it down here in Houston.
Well, it's been all over. It's worldwide news.
I know.
This is really, really important. And we talked about it at the beginning, and I talked about the mayor. I was like, where did they get this guy? And you see Uncle DeWine was looking back like, your people want to hear from you. Mayor, hello, what are we going to do? So my thoughts, I have my thoughts, and I'm just going to say them as usual. It's just my opinion, not the views of the guests in the Cold Sore Shop Talk. I was like, well, what they do was like, well, we don't have nobody to be the mayor. Let's get Barbara's boy to do it. He ain't doing that. Because that's how he be standing there like, but it does look like a little bit of fear. And when I think back and I'm like, everything that's going on, he's like, oh my gosh. I saw him 2 days ago, and he was like taking pictures with Rudolph Giuliani and everybody, now he's like turned into a celebrity. Turned into a celebrity, But the people of East Palestine, the people, I just feel I'm concerned because they talk about the water safe, they talk about the air, and they're like, oh, everything is safe. You're fine if you want your house tested. tested. Here's my problem. My problem with my house being tested is okay, it's fine because why? Blue next door? Where's the water? Where's the pets? How's the animals? Because there's farms over there.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking. It's not just the water in the air, but also the soil quality. And then, with the water cycle, that's just going to spread it everywhere. And I'm not pleased with the way it's been handled and like the priority it's received. Like, I feel like the response was slow. And I felt like the president going overseas, it was bad optics and it was bad timing. And it wasn't a good look.
Okay. Let's hear from somebody over that way. Let's welcome our guest. He's not on camera, which is fine, but his name is. Hey, Joe, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you well. We want to give you a warm Shop Talk welcome.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Can you give us some insight on what's happening in that area?
As of right now, the big feud is the mayor. I know made a big deal about Biden going overseas. Actually, I think there was a response from Biden, kind of like a scoff. Nothing. There's nothing really important. I guess he was just kind of ticked off that the president had gone overseas instead of helping domestically. They kind of leaned on the support of Trump actually showing up, which that happened on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, but so he showed up to do what though? Way after.
It was kind of just like emotional support, moral support. Nothing was really done. Nothing was really said. That's about all we got there. I think he went to McDonald's, bought people lunch like that. That's about all I know from what he did when he came. So nothing, no changes.
Okay, now being a part of the community, how are the animals? I want to talk about the water. I want to talk about the water there. How's the water? They said it was safe to drink, but tell me, do you see any difference in like the pets or the animals over there?
So I know there's been like different areas where fish are dying, especially downstream. There's been a lot going on like towards Negley. Negley's all downhill, so all the water that was running from the contaminated stream was running downhill towards Negley. Um, a lot of people down there have wells. No one's really connected to city water down there. So no matter like what kind of filtration they have, they're still running from the water that was polluted from the city of Palestine.
Absolutely.
As far as pets and everything down there, there's nothing to really said other than like I know recently, I don't know if you saw in the news, a cat had passed away because of a exacerbated heart disease that they think came from either the water or the air pollution from that train derailment.
I did. That's what I was asking about the pets.
But I know a couple people have found. Yeah, I know that cat that they said it had a problem before, but they think that like the release of the gas like exacerbated it, made it worse. Mm-hmm. So, as far as our water, we're 4 miles up from East Palestine. I mean, obviously, we're still within that range of effect, but I haven't experienced anything at my own house. I feel that being upstream in north of Palestine, I feel safe in my own area. But I know right now in the park, they're doing decontamination. So they're actually bypassing all of the water through the park right now. They're usually doing it at night. I have a best friend that lives in the park. She's the first house there. Her backyard right now is actually set up and blocked off by the city of East Palestine. But I guess someone came in. I'll have to see if I can find a name. Someone came in and did like testing of the water that's coming out, and they're supposed to have like a shield blocking over it, the water that's spraying into the back, like the back creek that runs through her yard. I guess that water's highly contaminated. So they're saying that it's not safe for any of the residents in the park to be there. So I'm not sure she's going to leave. I would imagine that they're going to leave, but so
Okay. Now, isn't it farmland in that area?
um, mostly north of East Palestine is all farmland. I know west is as soon as you head west, it's go like right into Pennsylvania. Um, when they had all of that happen, they actually blocked off the main highways. Excuse me, from Pennsylvania. I think they had about 4 or 5 miles of it blocked, so that you can't even come close to the city. I think it's all open now. I haven't seen anything. It's usually I run down 51 to Chippewa, and that's my primary way back. Well, I used to have to route through Union Valley or down through Negley, and but then they would route you through Negley, and you still had nowhere to come up north, so you'd have to make an entire detour. But
Okay. Now, you spoke about coming, the guests coming in for emotional support.
right,
Do you feel that it's helping you all in that area emotionally with other people coming to the area?
this area is highly Republican, highly conservative, and a lot of people around here are Trump supporters. So I have to say, by a political aspect, definitely. I know you could ask 1 in 5 people, and 4 of them more than likely are Trump supporters around here. I feel like by him showing up, a lot of people felt moved by that, just because that's their political view. I know, like for instance, my grandmother is a Democrat, but she's more leans more towards the old Democrat, like a Democratic version. Um,
I can relate.
yeah, she's a Biden supporter. Me personally, I don't get myself into politics. I try to avoid politics as much as I can. I mean, if it affects me to a certain degree, then I take an interest. But I feel like Trump showing up to the area definitely boosted morale in this area, just because everyone here, I mean, every front yard you'll mostly see a Trump sign or some kind of sign that berates Biden. I'm surprised that stuff's allowed up, but yes, I do feel that it was a good moral support for a lot of people. It felt
Okay.
like someone that they look up to kind of like reached out to them. But then the attack on Biden for not showing up, I feel, is the other end, where they're not supporting the Democratic Party.
When I heard the attack, it kind of, first I was like, okay, I was like, now that's really nice. But then when I heard the attack, and I felt like, okay, so this is like a campaign. That's how I
Right.
felt. I was like, here we go. Are you really there for that, or are you there to get the vote of the people? Now, I see that there was a lot of people coming down and supporting. I want to talk about at the beginning, you had your first responders who came when it first started out. And to me, I felt like the first responders was lightweight being disrespected by the community, saying they
Absolutely.
weren't doing enough. Am I
Abs-
off, or help me?
no, you're absolutely correct. They the first night that it happened, I was actually coming home from dinner. I think I mentioned this before, but I was coming home from dinner, um, and on our way down through Columbiana, we passed probably 60 to 70 tanker trucks that were just running back and forth through town. And that's when we lived in New Waterford, which is about 2 miles, maybe 2 miles from where the train derailed. I mean, there was so many townships. I think there was 56, 57 departments. There could be more than that. But I know that there were no less that came in to help, everywhere from the Pittsburgh area all the way to Cleveland, it was called. But for our own local first responders, I feel that they were praised in the beginning for very shortly, but afterwards, they're still taking a hit from people. They're demanding answers when they obviously can't provide. It's not up to them.
Right, it's up to that company. That company
Exactly.
needs to be
It's
giving answers.
It's up to the company, and ultimately it's up to the mayor to release their updates. I feel that it's not on
Child,
the.
that mayor. Let me be quiet about y'all's mayor down that way.
Yeah.
I, okay, I'll talk about it after we release you. Let me see if the ladies have a question for you because I
Sure.
want to say that just I got a question. Are you guys wearing masks down there? Because I know they said that we don't have to wear masks, but is the community wearing masks in that area?
Absolutely not. Even during the time when masks were required, nobody wore them. It's
Oh, oh,
Yeah, this is one of those areas, like I said, that everyone's highly conservative. It's their way. Nobody down here believes in the mask. I mean, obviously, I work in healthcare, so I wear one when I have to, but I'm not going to wear one down here. I don't feel any effect.
even when they told you the air, like you could see it, like with COVID, they told us, but
Right.
you actually see the pollution in the air.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. Every time I went down there to see what was going on, or to look at like the wreckage, see how they were doing cleaning it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, no masks. The only masks that I saw that were being worn were by the cleanup crew.
Well,
Uh,
that's a sign for me.
right, right. During the night, a lot of their cleanup was during the night. They would have excavators crushing during the day,
Uh-huh.
and during the nighttime is when they would start shoveling everything up into these large blue containers, which are like they'll ship them off to a certain specific area that handles decontamination, and they'll actually decontaminate all the material before it's laid to rest.
Okay. I commend
But
every person in that area. Honestly, I'm courageous just being there because I would have bye, see you, deuces, figure it out. And with that being said, let's talk about the finances because I do see over and over and over again where it's like, they're suing, they got attorneys. I mean, y'all, that whole area got attorneys out the wazoo coming to speak to the people. So we
oh
do
yeah,
realize that the company will be fined, no doubt. But individually, is that just is the and you might not be able to answer this, but is the lawsuits just for the people of East Palestine or the outside perimeters as well, like you spoke about, like 2 miles out, 4 miles out,
right.
because it's air.
So I believe right now it was a radius of 10 miles. Um, I heard that they were expanding. Now don't quote me to this, but I heard that they were expanding it to 30 miles
Okay.
outside of the city. That could be different, but that's what I was told. But I know that there is definitely a 10-mile range that they expanded it to. Like I know me and my family were in the range where we could sue, but there was no effect. We're not money hungry. There's no reason for us. There's no need for us to sue. Um, Now, the people that were affected, the people that their house might be 5 feet from the train tracks, those are the people that I feel should be taking legal action. Um, Mostly, I would say that it's the railroad company's fault for failure of maintenance.
Right.
That could have been prevented by failure of all if they would have checked their axles, if they would have lessened the load, if they would have had a second crew member. Um, it's almost negligence that you have a train that long with one crew member. And I know the trails or the trains, excuse me, the trains they have sensors on them. I did read the report from
Uh-huh.
the railroad company. They
I
have
read it myself.
sensors. They have fail-safe sensors that a lot of them, 80% of the time, are false alarms. So how are you to know whether it's a real
Or not.
alarm? Right. I mean, if you have all these sensors going off at different times, you're not going to stop a 2 mile train, which takes probably a mile and a half to stop. Anyways, when you have a set schedule, you need real alarms happening to real situations, not setting off. And you should recalibrate those. Just do your maintenance. But I do feel that the people that were affected that closely and that their water, especially like I mentioned, Negley being downstream, those poor people
Right.
down there with the contaminated wells, they're the ones that really need the lawsuits. The people north of East Palestine, And I think I have mentioned this to you that they're just like money pinchers. They're they're looking for money, um, even though that they weren't affected, which maybe like emotionally I could see, but physically I just don't see them being affected. Um, if you don't have maybe air pollution, but as far as water contamination, water doesn't run upstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw on the news they had the guy with the ETA drinking the water with the family.
Right, right.
Yeah, your girl would not have been there. No.
Yeah,
AmberDee has a question for you, Joe.
sure.
So, from what you know about the chemicals that were spilled, and I'm just thinking back to like other disasters, doesn't a lot of the effects, the harm that is people are exposed to, it can take years to manifest, or even their offspring can be born with birth defects from this exposure?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's from the reports that I read. It takes about like 3 to 4 years before you start to see like real effects. Obviously, the elderly are there's a lot of elderly in that town. Um, the elderly are more prone to faster changes, if you want to put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
someone like me, my age, I'm 23, it would take maybe 3 to 4 years, 5 years, 6 years before I would notice anything. Um, Me being the person that I am, I'm nosy. I went down to the fire, snuck past all the police barriers, and made my way 200 feet from the fire. So whatever I inhaled, I inhaled. That's on me. But I do have pictures with the flames burning, but there's different colors like blues, greens, reds coming off the fire, which I can only presume that that's the fumes burning from the tank, which the only people that really know what was burning is the railroad company. So,
Okay, Joe, we gotta get together. I gotta see these pictures. See, that's why I love them alone. Man, when I tell y'all, they be going at it, going in, seeing what's going on. And I can appreciate him taking accountability. He's saying, I stuck through. I know I did what I did because I wanted to see. And that's on him. Where you have people that's like, oh, you did, they just roll down the street. Be coming from Youngstown, coming from the Yo, and just roll on down. Be like, oh, oh, I just stopped by to go to the store. You know what I mean? So I appreciate Joe sliding on real quick to give us his experience down there. But what I tell y'all, even remember how I was talking about the millennials with the Black Lives Matter? Go out there and march, do your thing. I appreciate it. Like fearless, straight up fearless. Go ahead, what you got?
The reason why I brought that up is because I feel like it's very unfair to say who should sue and who shouldn't, because it is something, because I'm thinking of like the nuclear attacks and then the nuclear reactor explosion in, I want to say it's like Taiwan or something. But it takes a long time for those that to manifest, for you to know if you've been impacted, or if your kids have been impacted, or your ability to have children has been impacted.
Now you know what? Where you know how they have those infomercials in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Yeah. Because some things take a long time. Some things take a long time to actually kick in. So you have the long-term effects. I get that. I'm listening to where you have people who will sue, and even if it's long-term, you have a long-term effect. So I sue today, and then 70 years later, or I'm passed on, it's already gone. And then, or like asbestos, let's talk about that. That's easier. That's something I can compare it to, where you see how it affect a lot of the elderly. They found out years later, some have passed on. So maybe the families probably get it. Do you sue at that time once you get it? Or it's like, okay, let me sue just in case I get it. So that's what I'm trying to figure that out. So where are we going? Go ahead, Nick.
With that case, like with the asbestos, there is a time limit on if the affected individual has passed away. There's a time limit that they give the family. to be able to sue. We were past our time limit for my father.
And I got that. That's what I'm saying. But if you have
Mhm.
somebody who, just like what Joe was saying, you can't have long-term effects. But it's like if I sue today and I'm okay today, and then it's like, okay, so I have it all now. Is it benefiting me later on? You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, so I sue just in case. That's why I was asking, is it just in case I get affected? Let me go ahead and get paid. Now, I don't, and this is improper diction, I do not think people should be compensated for their inconvenience. The people that had to move out, the whole nine, the people with well water, like he explained, because that's why I was like, I think it's a whole, I was thinking that he spoke it. A whole lot of people with well water, which is supposed to be the most healthiest water, and you got all that going downstream. And it's like, okay, wait. And the fish is just laying out there like, uh-oh. And then they say the water is safe to drink. Is the water safe to drink or not? Now watch this. Here I am. I'm like, okay, if the water isn't safe to drink, but people are still bathing in this same water, there has to be some type of effect, some type of effects. Go ahead.
And yeah, I completely agree. I think that from a moral perspective, I think that if you're within the radius, you should sue. Just because the whole reason, as Joseph had mentioned, the whole reason that this even happened is because that company's neglect. So this could have been avoided if they were running their company with some integrity. So get them.
Dang, AmberDee, she'd have hit him.
Savage.
I ain't got no integrity, nothing. Oh man, Joe, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us a little bit of clarity from the inside. We want the inside scoop.
Oh, not a problem. I tried to send you those pictures, but as soon as I tried to send them, it kicked me right out. So,
okay.
as soon as I get off here, I'm actually getting close here. I will send you those pictures so you have them. Okay.
Okay, and keep us updated here on Shop Talk with Mel on what's going on and what's new, the inside.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mel. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. You said the people should sue anyway, huh?
Because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, even
so if you sue today for a certain amount and then it's worse, then do you go back? Are you able to double dip?
I don't know, because I feel like this is going to turn into a class action lawsuit for sure.
Well, I think that that's going to be there. The people who had to leave their homes, 110%. There was an older guy that was on the news. He was so funny and so cute. He said they told him that he had to leave his home immediately, and he was wondering why. And he asked them why, and they said that it's bad for your health. And he said, I don't need no more problems. He grabbed the bag and he left. So I think that people, I thought it was so cute though. So the people that had to be displaced, yes, thank God for the people who have families, but those who didn't. And that man, he was staying in the school gym. And I'm thinking that's the school's gym. So you're still in the area. You know what I mean? You're still in the area. What are we doing? We had I can't remember which high school, they had a basketball game. Listen here, that coach canceled that basketball game. We won't be there. And it was after. It was like, All right, AmberDee, go ahead and read the comment.
So, oh Lord, I'm mispronouncing your name. So it's just Shandu Pigler said, I definitely agree with AmberDee, no doubt, 100.
So go ahead and just
sue him into the ground. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, since Joseph had mentioned the political aspect of it, the flip side of it is that, from what I understand, the reason why this, like a lot of other companies, they became so negligent with their maintenance and their safety is because there had been rollbacks on safety protocols and standards in the train industry, which was really being pushed by Donald Trump, which is another example of valuing the bottom line over, public health and public safety.
Okay, and you're right. You're right. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it up to her. Let's give it up to her. Let's give her. Let's give it up to her. We gonna give it up to you, honey. Give her props. You're right. Go ahead. What you got, Nick?
I was gonna say, I did hear from reports about the Biden issue and the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
What Biden did reach out to Uncle Dwayne before he went over there, and Uncle Dwayne said that everything was under control. That was reports that I heard.
The wine showed up.
Right. So therefore, why bash Biden? Because Biden did reach out to the governor of Ohio before he went. He reached out.
All right. Well, since we on these, let's read this comment and stay on these politics for 1 second.
So Lashonda Cornwell from Facebook said it's going to take so many years to get a settlement. Shaking my head. Yep, he rolled back the Obama Railroad Act. Exactly. So it's like, okay, and then I feel like our faces for all the viewing audience. He said Trump came there for moral support. It's like, boo boo, we don't need
And went and
moral
bought
support.
people
We need
with bombs.
action. So,
and it's almost, sometimes you can have a whole lot of people there and they're just in the way.
right.
He's doing that for his own political, because he's trying to run again. I'm hoping they hurry up and get that sucker in jail before they start. Seriously, he needs to be in jail. But he don't care about them folks. For one, like you said, he rolled back the Railroad Act, number one. Number two, you just showing up knowing that that territory loves you. You just showed up to show your face so you can get those votes when it comes time to vote. Man, bye. He don't care about Trump. Don't care about nobody but Trump.
Right. And I feel like I've watched documentaries about like toxic hazard waste cleanup and the process behind it, and when it's done successfully and when it's not done successfully. And I just feel like there's a lack of transparency, as Joseph had mentioned, of like, okay, how is the cleanup going? What is the process? What are the safeguards in place? I feel like it's very hush hush right now, and that's because they're worried about everybody's worried about covering their own behinds, because obviously it's like a massive failure that was completely avoidable.
Yeah. I also heard that the workers did, well, since there's only one, but they basically tried to stop all of that beforehand or whatever. But yeah, it was basically somebody dropped the ball. They didn't do their job that they were supposed to do. The safety protocols that were supposed to be in place, nobody checked those. They just tried to skim through. Oh, this will never happen, and it happened.
Right. And I feel like
it happened twice, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, train derails are pretty infrequent. Like, they're not something that usually happens. I'm going to go ahead and read this comment before I get into my comment. So Bob Hayes from Facebook said, hello. And yes, he only did that to go against Obama's progress. Exactly, because he literally said that his mission was to undo everything Obama did, even the good stuff. And so I feel like, and I don't want to blame that one railroad employee, because just based on the things I've heard so far, it really sounds like it's one of those companies where they're forever understaffed, they're intentionally understaffed, and the workers they run them to the ground and give them way more work than one person can actually manage. And then also they were talking about the sensors things having a 40% false positive response. That's ridiculous. And just human psychology, you would naturally start to ignore that. So that in itself is a failure if you're not making sure your sensors are not working properly. So it's still the company's fault. I do not hold that one employee running that entire train responsible. Frankly, I don't think it's that man's fault.
Okay, I'm with it. Look, I'm with it. I don't think it's his fault either. He's hired by the company. That could very well be the scenario. That could very well be the actual scenario, that understaffed. And to me, if that sensor is a false alarm on a regular basis, that should have been fixed immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an issue on their part. I have to mute that for the feedback that's coming. That's an issue with the company. So now they have to pay greatly. I believe that the same company had an issue in Detroit. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Now, Nick had just said that it had actually already happened before, and maybe that's the incident she was referring to. But I had never heard of this company, so.
You know what? We hear the one that we know, Amtrak. And when they were rerouting, and I said, "Oh, they're coming through the yo. Uh-oh, they coming through the yo. What you gonna do? We about to have a fit." So I don't know. Well, let's go with what's next. What's trending now? You ready? Zaya Wade's name was able to be changed legally and gender.
I'm so sick of them.
So on the birth certificate.
They changed. The judge said yes.
See, nope.
AmberDee said, "Nah,
We are
not at all."
last days, baby.
Yeah, no.
Like, so what do we do? I
We
mean,
have to. I think this is a political issue. It's a community. It's a social issue, and I feel like it's something we're gonna have to really organize on, because I think once we're getting to the point where you can change a legal document like that, I think that has a lot of ramifications, unforeseen ramifications in our legal system, and like just documentation and identifying people. I think that's incredibly problematic.
go ahead.
Yeah, just
Okay.
they need to start, what we need to do is start proposing bills to have that undone. And to make it not legal to do that.
I
law on the books.
I agree with that. I agree with it because you do it for one, you have to do it for all. It's going to be like a whole trickle down effect. Nobody's going to know. You're going to bring somebody home. You got to ask the question: were you born a male or female? Like it's going to be a lot in the dating thing. It's going to be a lot.
Well, I think it's even going to impact like government, like for driver's license, for insurance, for employment. I just feel like it's one of those things. It's going to snowball. But I don't think it should be. You should not be able to change your birth certificate. No, you can make modifications. You can have it updated or something. You can have amendment, but the original one.
How would that read?
Like, you know how some documents are like redacted? It'd be like that, but there's still the unredacted copy somewhere. Or just the fact that it was redacted or adjusted should indicate something. But yeah, I definitely think that's the next step is we need to form a bill and have it brought up and written into law that you cannot change birth certificates.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too. I just feel like at some point we gotta stop. We have to stop. It's becoming overwhelming. It's becoming overwhelming and just out of control. Everybody just wants to do what they want to do, and we're supposed to adapt, and they want to eliminate what was instead of adding to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, changing the birth certificate, that is very far-fetched. I mean, okay, you want to change and he's, to me, still too young. That was his stepmama pushing that. I don't care what nobody say. But your gender, what you were born a male, that's what should still be on your birth certificate. That's why change that document? I don't understand it. Okay, if this is how you want to live your life, fine. I'm not gonna judge you because only God can judge us at the end of the day. But in all honesty, be fair about it. Like, you were born a male, man. You were born a boy. Like Cat Williams said, I am a boy.
Like don't get it twisted.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like, Why? That just leave your birth.
It's almost like an approval of being not who you are, being fake. So we're going to legally approve you to be an imaginary friend. Or listen, I'm about to start something with that. Next, they're gonna be having this is my imaginary friend. Nobody can see the person, and they're gonna name it, and it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to be share. That's my friend over there. Like, come on, come on. And that's my interpretation. Like I said, my views are just that, the views of Mel and not the views of the co-host or the listeners or anyone else of Shop Talk with Mel. I think we need to keep things the way they were and add on. Just like we have where they don't want to call mothers mothers. Now they're birthing persons.
No, they're mama.
You just delivered a child. You're a mother, and if you are not a mother, I'm using air quotes for the listening audience. You want to be a parent. You may have two fathers, or you know what I mean. Come on, just let you be the birthing person if you identify as a male now. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. Like this whole
just because they identify as male, because they tried to, I guess the one male that did have a baby. Oh, the first male that had a baby, that ain't no dang on male, because males they don't have a uterus. They don't produce eggs. They produce sperm. So let's call a spade a spade. That was the first woman who decided to change into
identify as a male.
Exactly, that had a baby. Ain't no man ever had no baby.
And that's what they need to put on here. Add that on.
Right.
Because I just feel like we're doing too much with the whole, you want to eliminate what was and replace it. Stop replacing things. Just add on to it. Just like this birth certificate. It's like, okay, so I'm going to sit here and legally say you can be fake. No, this is it. If you want to be this way, be how you want to be. But we're not going to just say this never was. And I was having a conversation with my daughter about the whole thing. She was saying how, well, no, if that's what they want to do. I said, listen here, I get it, but nobody is getting, it's like, okay, this is your child, do everything for your child. That's not always good. Because to me, if one of my children decided they wanted to be the opposite sex, and my daughter couldn't understand that, I said, so now you just eliminated all of my memories because of how you feel today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, and I said, let's say it's you. I had a little girl, this is it, blah, 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 blah. And you want me now to look at you as a male and to call you this male name. So all of my memories were gone. And she kept saying, no, that's not how it would be. She was like, it goes this. I'm like, no, but it will.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to respect you, but you're not respecting me. You want me to respect your feelings, but you're not respecting the parents' feelings. So I was just speaking from a parent standpoint, and she was speaking from their, her peer standpoint. She's like, no, it's just that's how you want it. I said, that's cool. I said, but what if it was for the parent? How would you feel as a child? And then I'd be like, oh, okay, well, call me Melvin, and I'm a dude. So now your memory of your mother is gone. Now you have to remember me as your father.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, the memory won't be gone. I said, but I may be offended if you bring up something woman-like.
Exactly.
So it goes both hands. You want to read the comment?
Yes, Mr. Pegler said, I totally agree with Nick. If you're born a man, you're a man. If you're born a woman, you're a woman. Come on, that's crazy. Exactly. That's what you decide you want to be later in life. That's your business. But what God brought you into this world as, that's what you are. Period. Point blank. You can cut it off, sew it up, do whatever, add it on. I don't care. You were still born if a male, or you were still born a female. Like, and now they changing the gender on the birth certificate. Y'all, come on now. Like, that should not have been.
But you know what? Zion is a nice name, and it could go both ways anyway.
Exactly.
And then you want to call you want to call their child Zaya, go right ahead. But hey, to each his own. But here's the problem that I have. I have a problem with this NAACP award, President's Award, going to Gabrielle Union Wade and Dwayne Wade. They are set to receive the prestigious President Award of the 54th NAACP Image Award. Now, it says best known for their achievements in the spotlight. So what is the achievement, honestly? Can we shop talk?
Yeah, what they do? Like,
now you tell me, come on, let's keep it 100.
Because they fighting to change, like, I mean, like, what? Just what? And then all of this, nobody considered the feelings of the birthing person, the mother of this child. Nobody's considering her feelings. I don't care how much money Dwayne Wade got. I don't care if he decided to raise this child. Y'all still are overshadowing the person who brought this boy into the world. Because I'm going to still say boy. I don't care who get mad. Brought that boy, because that's what he was when she brought him into the world, when she birthed him. He grew inside of her body for 9.5 months. She nourished him every time she ate. She breastfed, I'm quite sure if she didn't, whatever. But she was the mama. She pushed him out her cooch. Okay. Not Gabrielle, not Dwayne. No, and nobody is considering her feelings.
Well, I tell you what's interesting. What's interesting is trending. It's a photo of their family. So you have Gabrielle's in the bag. Dwayne is holding the baby. And there's a circle around his crotch area. They said it looked like a vagina. I said about Dwayne. They are a mess. But let me tell you why they are receiving an award. They're receiving an award best known for their achievement. Now, we know he retired, okay? Their achievements in the spotlight. Union Wade as a celebrated actor, producer, and best-selling author. That book that she said she taught salad. I didn't read it. I saw an interview and she kind of went into detail. Some things you just don't say, but they just say it. They just open with there. So to each his own. Let me say allegedly because I didn't read it, but I heard her say. She didn't say toss salad. She said extra stuff. But anyway, and Wade as the 3-time NBA champion turned producer and entrepreneur. The Wades are also dedicated philanthropists advocating for racial justice and LGBTQ equality, supporting marginalized communities in need and countless other humanitarian efforts. Countless others. That's from Variety. Now, countless other. That means you don't know why we don't know why we do this film, because we knew all this stuff before. So here again, just like you stated, we know what it's really about. We know what it's really about. So I'm sorry. This is extreme. This is extreme. Now, Samora has a Netflix special. So funny. It's Samora, the Queen of Chandelier. And she's talking about the things that need to go. She talks about what Monique said about the bonnets.
I get so tired of seeing people in bonnets when they come out of the airport, bonnets, pajamas, and big fuzzy slippers. Yeah, I'm like, really?
She talked about that. And she said, you know, when Monique was talking about it, but she said, I think she said her niece or something. And she said she asked her, why do they do that? She said her niece is the bonnet girl and the city girl mixed together. And she said, nobody told us we couldn't. That was the best answer.
Yeah.
That was the best answer. And see, and that's what's happening. People are doing what they want to do. And then it's like, how do we address this? Do we just appease people? Because there's no pushback. So I commend Monique on that because I'm looking like, But guess what? If they put on the doors, remember it was no shoes, no shirt, no inner.
Right.
On the doors, no bonnet, no house shoes, no pajamas. But how can you tell? I think things would actually change. You have people, I work night shift. You have people coming to work with a bonnet on.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. And now what they're trying to do is like some of them are like the bonnet type, the hairnet type bonnets. I've seen a lot of people try to wear those now. It's still a bonnet.
Now, see, here's the thing, though. Before, you couldn't wear any headscarves unless it was a religious reason.
Right.
Now you coming in. To me, I'm like, you work night shift. You coming in ready for bed. You bringing blankets in because you get cold at night. So now you got a bonnet and a blanket.
Yeah, this world is just screwed up. This world is screwed up.
When do we say enough is enough? Or do we just let it go?
If we start saying enough is enough, then they're gonna try to cancel you. Like it's one of those situations anymore. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
See, and that's it, that cancel culture. But your community will find you. So if your community stands up for you, boom, cancel all you want. Which takes me to the next topic. Kanye, cancel Kanye. Adidas dropped Kanye, and you see where we at now? Where we at? Allegedly, Adidas picked Kanye back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said they lost a lot of money.
Of course.
The
they should have figured that out.
For the company. So it's out there in them streets, but we know how the internet do their thing. And they may put some stuff out there, and it may be true and it may not be true. But to my understanding, I guess they had to pay him off. You know what I mean? So it's fresh off the press. Fresh off the press.
You know what else?
Let me be politically correct. Yay. I say Kanye. Yay. Yay and Adidas reportedly reach a new agreement. So there you go. Top story. Y'all got it. Hot new hip hop. That's where I get that from. I get it from all over. Read.
Are we gonna also address?
Come on with. Wait. Let me give the people. Let me get the people what they need. All of the information. So they reach a new agreement to sell the remaining 500 million USD in the Yeezy sneakers. So now that would be nice, you know. They reached an agreement for Ye to actually say, okay, I'll come back. Otherwise, I can take the loss because they had to pay him, and then they stuck with 500 million worth of merchandise on the shelves. That was your decision to do. You know what I'm saying? That was your decision.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll see how this pans out. And as this story unfolds, it was released, less than 12 hours ago. I'll keep you posted. Go ahead. What you want to talk about, boo?
The aura.
Yeah, the aura Kellys. Go ahead.
The aura.
Go ahead.
The aura is gonna be in jail till he gonna die in jail, y'all. Because they just added Chicago just added 30 years on top of the 19-year sentence he already got. Hot dog.
For peeing on a young lady?
Listen, 30 years. 30 years. Because there was a couple ladies that did finally come, I guess. And the one said about the emotional trauma that she experienced and the abuse and everything. Like, some of them are starting to come around now. And baby, they said this fool still does not comprehend that he did anything wrong. Still. Yeah.
Well, okay. See, what I actually read is that he's to serve 1 additional year in prison for the Chicago sex crime convictions. Now, maybe you got 10 of them. It's extended by 1 year. That's what it is. It's extended by 1 year. Now, the ones that's coming out now.
What I read, they add 30.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they had added 30 on. I'm like, oh,
yeah, wow. I got one from USA Today. That's where.
Okay.
And
but still, he don't comprehend.
He said, listen, when you are innocent, you are innocent. And when you come in and you say you innocent to the day you leave out of there. You can do 30 years. But hey, we know he was found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
All of how we think of ourselves. See? see. So here we go. A judge sentenced R. Kelly, the once high-flying R&B star turned convicted sex offender, to 20 years in prison on Thursday on another set of crimes, including several child pornography charges. Now this stuff is coming. Let me see. Okay, so the 19 of those years will be served. Oh, concurrently, and it's okay. So they're adding on a year to each one.
To each one. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So 30, man, this cat. Oh, wait a minute. Let me finish reading this for you, lovely people. Will serve, okay, it's an update, serve concurrently with his existing prison time, meaning only 1 year gets added to the end of his previous 30-year sentence. So he was already 30. Okay. I'm like, he said he was found guilty. So do you really think he's guilty? Or is he convicted?
Yeah, he's guilty. He was just nasty. Dude, there was many women that was probably throwing the panties at him. And you chose children instead. You're nasty. Some of them
And you have people who are bringing up Elvis Presley.
Oh my gosh, yes, I saw that.
Did you see the lovely video and where you had the little girl dancing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these things that happened back in the day is disturbing.
And I guess that's probably why they said that we need to put a stop to it, and that's why it's illegal now. And then you got the R. Hey, when I saw the documentary on him when his teacher was speaking, his music teacher, did you see that when she told him he needed to stop back then in school? So she saw that there was, but he had his camp around him, enabling him, and he took the fall for all of them.
Guess what?
With the
They all should go down with him.
This time with the racketeering, it was a whole Ponzi scheme, I guess.
They should all go down with him, and he said himself, the parents knew what was going on, and he said it himself. So the mamas and the daddies need to go too. Now, like, you prostituted your child.
Here's what's interesting. If we say the parents are the ones that came forward, or was it the children? Because some of the parents was fighting and they knew at the beginning, and then,
when the money stopped, they decided when the money stopped, they decided to bring it to the forefront, because as long as they was getting paid off, they wasn't saying nothing. Not a nothing.
See, and that's terrible. Well, he where he should be.
Exactly, and them parents and his whole camp need to be right next in the cell next to him. Every last one of them. Boom, 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 boom. All of them together.
I ain't mad at you.
Y'all can make music in jail. Won't nobody hear it but y'all. But still,
listen, don't they have the rap artists be doing their thing? Don't they?
Yeah, they do. And still be putting stuff out. They be like, because remember the rapper Shine? When he got out, that's what he did. He made his stuff while he was in jail. So it got out and blew up.
I'm like, so is he gonna be so old when he get out? But he might be one of them old throwback. I don't want to compare him to the ones that's doing it now, because he done did some extra stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Now PETA decided they want to send Rihanna a faux fur because she was seen out wearing a real fur for dinner. So Rihanna and her pregnancy, she had a fur coat on, and the people said, "We will send you a faux fur." So, what's your thoughts on them? The PETA people saying what you can wear and what you can't wear.
You don't tell me what I cannot wear. If I want to buy a fur coat,
one though.
Huh?
I appreciate them saying they're gonna send one though.
Yes, they send all the coats they want, but if I decide I want to wear real fur, I'm gonna wear real fur. Sorry, PETA people. And I'm an animal lover, but I ain't wearing no dog. I love dogs, but if I want to wear a fox fur, If I want to wear fox fur or rabbit fur, I'm gonna wear them.
Okay. All right.
Seriously,
Said she gonna wear it. She want to wear a rabbit or a
I'm
fox.
gonna wear my rabbit.
Okay, I ain't mad at you. Yeah, their animal rights organization wants Riri to make some fashion changes for them.
It's like we always talk about. Everybody like gets offended by things that you do, and they don't care about your feelings. It's like you got to care about my feelings, but I don't care about yours. Like, where they do that at? Seriously. Like, and that's what seems to be happening in the world lately. Like you offended me. I'm going to speak my mind now. I don't care if I offend you. It's like, where does it end? Where does it end?
It doesn't. It's just ongoing. When
Exactly.
you were speaking about R. Kelly and other women coming forward, how about Paris Hilton? According to TMZ, Paris Hilton says that Harvey Weinstein got aggressive when he invited her to his hotel room.
Ooh, and Harvey Weinstein is now being sentenced for that and going to jail. Don't drop the soap.
Okay. He all bit down, broke down, I think trying to what? Say he can't do the time?
Man, bye.
People locked up now.
If Bill Cosby can do it, you can too, bro.
Okay, because she said that it was a terrifying run-in with Harvey Weinstein at the Cannes Film Festival when she was just a teenager. So she experienced him as well, according to her and according to TMZ. Listen, this is a real thing. And
a lot of these a lot of these celebrities are just they're sick in the mind because they like these little girls, and it's starting to come out now. But yeah, like what? Just because you got money, you think you could do whatever and you invincible? No, you cannot. Like act accordingly. You're an adult. Be with an adult.
all right,
Get a blow up. Do something.
the people that got a problem with Nick Cannon and all his children?
Man, they need to go on somewhere. That boy can afford. If he want to have 50 children, it ain't coming out of my pocket, so I can care less because they're all being taken care of.
Okay, he said only God could tell him how many.
Thank you. Exactly. They're all being. He's taking care of them. He's not a deadbeat father. The mothers are not on welfare. He's taking care of these kids, and if he could take care of them.
Okay, we're gonna dive in a little deeper. Go ahead. You want to read the comment?
Yes, Bob Hayes of Facebook said it's way too many people subjecting their own issues on others. Exactly.
And
he said, yes, the R should have loads of codependents.
Defendants, that's what it's supposed to say.
Codependents? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he meant. You know,
Yeah,
you know how the predictor is. Okay, let's talk. Okay, Nick Cannon and all his children. And he said, God can decide how many kids that I have. What's important to me is not even child support. You say he can afford to. What about the time? Even though it's none of our business, let's just dig in a little bit. The time. How are you able? You're working so that you can afford them. But how are you able to spend the quality time that's needed? Even though we don't know what's needed from a child, but I'm sure.
Right. And we don't know. He may very well be.
Love and affection over finances.
Right.
And yet you could say you love me, but you got to show me it's an action word.
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving me hugs? How often am I getting my hug? What's most important? We got to look at that bigger picture. I'm not mad at him. I don't have a problem. You do what you do. What's silly to me is the chicks that's like, okay, I'll take up your slack because that's exactly what it's going to be. I miss my dad. When am I going to see him? Like my birthday?
But we don't know. He may be spending that time. He may be. We really don't know.
Child, okay. We don't know. But I'm gonna talk about it. and this is not Nick. Let's take it off of Nick for a second. How many people had 2 children and a job and exhausted?
Oh yeah, a lot. Just about everybody I know with kids exhausted.
They,
Because that's
so he
24
has all
hours
these
job.
children, and it's to me, I'm just looking like, and you do have, they be like, oh, Papa was a Rolling Stone, blah 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 blah. You seen him, but Mom was always there. She was a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Or do what you will, but the women, like right now, there is no reason that anyone is pregnant on accident. There's none. It's so many things you could, unless like God says it and you get pregnant on birth control, you know.
Right.
There's no reason to say, oh, I didn't know. There's no reason to say I didn't know in this generation. They can just Google. We had to go look up encyclopedias and go to the library, the whole nine. There is no reason for any person to even say, I don't know. I don't understand. I'm trying to gain some knowledge here. Help a sister out.
I in this group, and there a guy posed the question about relating to women having kids, and people having kids and they're not financially able to take care of them, and he kind of was bashing the women, and I nicely told him, sir, first of all, if you are dealing with a woman that has children and she's not financially able to take care of children, but she's fertile, then you got 2 options. That should be either a hard pass or strap it up, because you can't put the blame all on the woman. It's the man's responsibility as well. If you're not trying to be attached to a female for 18 plus years, either you go on about your business or you strap it up every time y'all together. How about this? They're coming out with the male birth control. Take that. That'll eliminate the problem. Like, but don't just keep putting it all on the female, because it's not all on the female, because it takes 2 to tangle. It takes 2 of y'all to have sex. It takes 2 of y'all. So therefore, why is it just her responsibility? It's not. If she's fertile and whatever, it's your responsibility to strap it on up or go on about your business. Period. Point blank. And just don't stick it. Like, stop. I don't understand why everybody wants to put that stigma all on the female. Like, you knew getting into it what you was getting into. So it's your responsibility to it's your responsibility for your own self. Like, be accountable for your own self. Like, nah, this chick, I don't think I can mess with her. I like her, but I ain't trying to be another one of the victims. So let me go ahead, because males sometimes can't help themselves. Go ahead and strap it up. Like, for real. Stop blaming females for everything. And so, like,
go ahead.
And then, of course, like you said, then they don't want to spend the time, and just like, everybody just needs to be responsible. Think about it, especially now when we're going into a recession. We shouldn't be having all these babies coming and everything else. It's like, yeah.
All right. Well, let's go with Chris Brown. Chris Brown feels like he deserved to be forgiven. He said, this is ridiculous. He said, I did something when I was 17 years old, talking about them beat up Rihanna, and people act like they can't forgive because Keely Williams feels like he shouldn't be forgiven because he did like a collaboration with what's her name? Chloe. They trying to push all in her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Beyonce's new artist, right?
Yeah, Chloe and Halle. Yeah, Chloe.
Well, just Chloe. I'm not feeling her music, but anyway,
I
Kylie
like
Williams, the girl from the Cheetah Girls. Remember her?
Mm-hmm. And 3LW.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, and 3LW. That's when they started out. Three Little
When
Women.
they started out.
That was so phony. 3 Little Women. That's a crazy. That was stupid. 3LW. But she feels like Chris Brown. Like, did we forgive Chris Brown now?
Rihanna forgave him.
So how do you? Would you say
Rihanna forgave him?
Okay, now do you think he should be forgiven for what he did to Rihanna when he was 17 years old?
From what I read, Rihanna said it was a mutual fight. They were both, you know, so because I think she threw a shoe at him or she did something. But I mean, I don't condone any man putting their hands on a woman, but like if you defending yourself, that's a different story, or just walk away. But yeah, if Rihanna forgave him and they have a decent relationship to where he could shout her out, then when she had the first baby, shot her out with it. They have a decent relationship. So
What about all the other ones? See, if it was just Rihanna, I'd be like, okay.
right. I don't know
Remember the model, Karuchi?
Karuchi, yeah.
I think Karuchi got a restraining order on him, don't she?
I think she did.
Somebody got a restraining order. Then he showed out and tore up the sets of different interviews he was on. Then somebody on the bus. I can't keep up with all the different assault issues he has going on. I just think he needs some help. Is he talented? He is talented. And can we separate the art from the artist? And it sounded like when we talked about the art, we cannot, because we still like mad at R. Kelly.
When I listen to his song, though, it just
we with the air quotes.
It's something different. It does something different to me now because I tried to listen to some of the jams that I love, and I was just like, yes, and I was just like, he was serenading a child. I just can't. He
was serenading a child. Oh, just to find your mind from
the thought, because him messing with them girls. I'm like, he was talking like,
interesting. What's interesting is when I think back when I was a child, I do remember one of my friends dating an older guy, and I thought he was like a grown man, but she was like so in love with him, and she was sneaking around. And now you think back like, dang, that's crazy. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read the comment.
Daryl Jones of Facebook said, okay, Hugh Hefner, the Playboy Mansion. It was fine for him show off beautiful women's bodies. I know they were not young girls, but if he was a black man, do y'all think he would got the same positive energy from the people of that they would be calling him a pimp? They would be calling him a pimp. He would be a pimp. He would be a pimp. But yeah, Hugh Hefner, he kind of did it smart.
How? He made it a business?
Well,
or was it his clientele?
Customers, but
matter, right?
Most of those girls were what, 18? There might have been a few that was under.
Came in a little younger. Some, if you read,
some of them were a little bit younger, but
younger and groomed.
But then see, now we get
but their parents didn't come back and sue. Is that what happened?
Exactly. But now we get into the difference between what a white person could do and get away with. Well, lately they starting to catch up to them. But what a black person can do and get away with. Y'all know we can't get away with nothing.
It's still there. Let's talk about Aunt Your Mama. Do you think Aunt Your Mama's face should still be on the syrup bottle?
I don't know. But that one, because we grew up with it, like nobody thought anything of it. It was nothing negative, but I don't.
Background came out about it, and we learned about it. Do you feel like her face should be on there or no? Come on, give us an answer, Nick. And I want to know from you guys who listen to the audience. The phone number here is 619-902-2287, 619-902-2287. Scrolling across the bottom if you are viewing on YouTube or Facebook. But I had to shout it out for the podcast people. 619-902-2287.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Didn't they replace? They already replaced it with the building, like a picture of the building or something.
Yeah.
Now isn't it
there's your company earrings and stuff. I was brought up with it. I kind of like her face on there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I don't know. I don't. They blown us alone.
The name. So now they want to change the name of it. Like that's what I know.
Right.
And see, here we go with the whole replacement thing. the actual name or the actual name is a Hebrew name, and it means dove. How about that from the Hebrew origin? So you can't be like, okay, name her Pearl. I think that's what they was talking about, changing the names.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of
Pearl
cool.
Milling Company or something like that.
Huh?
Is it Pearl Milling Company they're changing it to? I can't remember.
Right. Just leave. I like it. It's just my view. Now I want to go into this, the translation. Watch this. Jemima is a feminine name of Hebrew origin, translating dove. This name is a beautiful way to celebrate baby's pure, peaceful spirit. That's probably where they got the dove soap from. How about that? In the Christian Old Testament, Jemima was also the name of one of Job's 3 daughters, who were considered the most beautiful women in the land.
You well, then they need to leave it alone.
People,
Leave it alone then.
listen, I look for that syrup. When I go from a French toast, I'm looking for Aunt Jemima.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking for.
I use that or log cabin.
I don't know about no log cabin. I go for Aunt Jemima. Why? Because I see her face. I'm like,
I
hey.
grew up with both of them, Aunt Jemima and log cabin.
What about that alga? Is it alga? Algala? What is the old
Alabama, Georgia. The Alabama, Georgia, yeah. That
what's
to me,
Alabama, Georgia? Is that the
that syrup. That was the syrup. To me, that air from the south.
what is the name of that old
It's
syrup?
it's out. It's out. It's
Come
short
on,
for Alabama, Georgia,
lovely
but
people.
it's short for Alabama, Georgia, but alligator or whatever. I don't know. But my dad, that was his syrup, and that uh, I hated it. I hate the taste of it, but so many people love it.
Alaga.
Yeah.
Oh, that stands for Alabama syrup. Alabama, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, I can see how it is. The people's like that one.
Yeah, they love that syrup.
It gives you a nostalgic taste, that's for sure.
It does.
You
I
want to
can't.
bring it back, take it on back to the Agla. That's it, Alaga.
Yeah, when you tell them about sopping up biscuits with syrup, that's what they talking about. Put that, but my dad used to get the butter and mix it up real good with syrup. Get them biscuits, and I'll be sitting there going,
Now he's like, thank you. No, thank you, huh?
"Give me the log cabin or Aunt Jemima." Y'all, you got that. Listen. I would never touch that syrup. He didn't ever have to worry about me eating none of that.
Now
I'm
Quaker Oats is releasing a new name and logo for its Aunt Jemima products, retiring the stereotype that it's on the pancakes. Come on.
Everything is changing, and it's ridiculous. Like, leave well enough alone. Cancel culture again.
The Pearl Milling Company. So you were right, Nick. That's it. The Pearl Milling Company. So you were absolutely right. Logo on there. And because they want to take away, they said the slavery.
Yeah, the stigma of slavery.
But it's our history. Don't you want to know your history? If you don't know
like you said, you're about to repeat.
I've heard that so much embedded in my head. So you want to replace it, act like it never was, so that we can go back? Is that what's really going on?
It seems like they trying to, like, when they're like
shall I be quiet?
Certain laws and
help me. Did you hear what I said? Shall I speak or shall I keep quiet? Because if we don't know and you eliminate it and erase it, then you set the future up to be right back there.
Exactly.
Come on. I need something, a ding dong or something.
That's part of our history. People need to know that these children don't know their history nowadays. It's crazy. Like,
schools in, because they already trying to get our books out the school.
Exactly.
Library. Why?
Because they're trying to eliminate. Yeah.
We know too much.
They're trying to eliminate it so we can stop, because there are those that, that was 400 something years ago. Get over it. Get over what?
Oh no, I'm not gonna get over it. But let me tell you something. But what I will do, I will not blame you in the present for what happened in the past. That's
Right.
what I don't like. You have people still upset. Well, you can't be upset with their great grandfather made a decision. I can't be
Right. You can't be mad at that person.
right now. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me. That's what's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You know, if you got those rich rolls on, that's what I'm gonna call it. Then we have a problem. But I don't expect you to compensate me for something that somebody else did to my ancestors. Can we
Mm-hmm.
go along, get along, and be all right? Coexist.
Yeah. Not. Yeah.
If you
It's
best
like
friends, just coexist. But you
they'll
got
never let that happen.
now. I'll tell you what's interesting, right? I'll tell you what's interesting. What's interesting is the people who want to be angry seek out to be angry. That's a problem for me. When you wake up in the morning and say, I'm just going to be mad, and I'm just using this as an example, I'm going to be mad at all the white people for what my ancestors went through. Is that what they really want?
It's like, and there are some people that are like that. They just they're racist. Like, we do have black folks that are racist. Like, they can't listen. You can't get mad at that individual, especially if that individual has not done anything to you, and that individual is nowhere near what their ancestor was, or they don't act like that. Then why are you causing an issue? Now, if they were disrespectful and they still have those same views, then okay, to stay away from them. But if they are, because there have been white folks that have apologized. I apologize for what my ancestors did. I don't believe in that. Okay, but you still have people wanting to like cuss them out and this and that. That, to me, that's not right.
What's your thoughts on the Confederate flag being taken down?
That's kind of hard, especially living, because I lived in the South, and there are so many black folks that rock the Confederate flag, and they said that is their culture, that is their history. They don't equate it to anything else, but that's because they're from the South. So, like, they shouldn't take it down. I mean, because if those black folks don't have a problem with it and they equate it because they from the South and they rock them Confederate flags proudly, then do you, boo? That's part of your heritage. You can't keep, like, getting rid of people's part of their heritage. Like, especially if it's not if it's not affecting you adversely, affecting you at all, then why are you creating a problem where there is none?
Some people found it offensive. They find it offensive and they want it down. But here again, it's history. So you have the next generation to be like, oh, what's that flag about? Let me find out. Some people don't even like history, and they may look at the Confederate flag and be like, oh, let's see where did this derive from? You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Now, my question is, these people that are offended.
I got to do me. For those who aren't aware, and new listeners to Shop Talk with Mel, or from a younger generation, the Confederate flag, you have the 7 stars, and what it did, it just represented the 7 states of the South that originally composed the Confederacy. It was South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida. That's why he wanted to get them books out of there. Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and come on, Mr. Holford, come on in my head, Texas. Oh, where you at? Look, where you at Texas? There you go. So look into that. That's why I said there should be no reason that people don't know, because you can like Google stuff and get that information, but understand that everything on Google is not true. So make sure you do the research.
Right.
But like the Confederate flag, I didn't have a problem. There's gonna be a lot of people that disagree with me. I didn't have a problem with the Confederate flag because it was the history, and learn the history.
Exactly.
And guess what? When you learn the history, you'll know, like, okay, well, I won't be doing that again. And you can be proud. You can be proud to be an American, because you can look and say, look how far we've come.
Exactly.
Eliminate everything and replace it. You're just thinking you just landed like this is the day. Like, boom, God created the heavens and the earth. Like, it happened right now. And that's where my issue is at. Back to the whole Zaya thing. It's like, listen, I understand y'all probably looking like that's just him. It affects everybody because
Mm-hmm.
the other, boom, boom. And I'm still upset with the whole birthing thing because, see, I done birthed 2 children. And then you're not going to call me a birthing person like I'm some type of machine because that is not what I am.
Right.
I am a mother, and it's a different connection. Now, some people who don't have that connection, there may be something going on mentally. Let's get them the help that they need. But we can't just eliminate what was and just go forward. It ain't cool.
Exactly.
Not cool at all. Now, let's talk about this in relationships real quick. Look, I'm like real quick. I had a conversation, and I love this guy. He says to me directly. Now, the younger girls want older men. But in this conversation that I had, younger girls, yes, they do want the older men. And was whack. The younger girls is sleeping with the older men that they mama rejected.
Ooh. Ooh.
T.
Listen, I ain't got no tea, but
How many young girls out there doing that?
that their mother rejected, and
Think about it. Think about it. Everybody looking for a sugar daddy, a diabetic, I don't know, guardian, whatever they looking for. They're looking for somebody to take care of them, but with these older men, and now it's like, well, your mama rejected me, and the guy probably got that in his head, like, oh, I
so
know.
let me get with you. Yeah.
Come on.
It on the man's part, it sounds like a little get back at the mama. But for the girl, why would you want something that your mama don't want? Why would you?
You don't know. You don't know. You know why you don't know? Because you wasn't around.
Oh.
You weren't around. So if you think back, like you go back to like high school, you think about somebody that liked you that you weren't into, you be like, and then come to find out, then your daughter become a baby, she got this dude and this old geezer coming to your house for Thanksgiving dinner. How do you react to that?
You know what? Funny story concerning that. There was this one guy that I can't remember if he used to talk to my cousin or if he used to like her or something.
Okay.
And then me and him was cool, but then he was trying to holler at her daughter. Tell your cousin that. I was like, you do realize who's child that is. Huh?
He knew?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh.
You do realize that's her child. Yeah, I know, because she looked just like her. Well then, sir, why are you asking me to hook you up with my cousin when you used to go with her mama in high school? So I had to cuss him out all the way out. All the way out. Just bye. Bye. We're not doing that. Bye. You're nasty. Bye. Man. What you trying to see if the daughter feel like the mama? Nasty. Some of them, you know what? Just yeah. So I think it's a lot on some, we need some men to chime in. But I think it has something to do with like some get back. Maybe because I can't remember how or why my cousin broke up. But yeah. So now that her daughter is grown, you want to holler at the daughter? And of course she was already grossed out by him anyway, so she wasn't having it anyway. But it's just
do you see some truth in that? And I'm gonna say it again. The old men are sleeping with the daughters of the mothers who rejected them.
I guess if they couldn't get the mama.
I.e. sugar babies.
Right. I guess if he couldn't get the mama, he gonna get the daughter. He gonna some way, somehow be up in that family, but that's nasty. Just nasty.
He gonna be in that family.
Yeah, no.
These women are looking for these guys, though. They're looking for these older men. Do you know why? Why they're looking for these older men?
Because they think they're gonna be able to take care of them, and baby, that ain't
no. Listen to my question, though. My question is, do you know why these sugar babies are looking for the older men?
I'm thinking because they're trying to get taken care of.
Okay. There's okay. I thought it was the other way, like the men, like I'll get her, she'll take care of me. Not. Let's hear from AmberDee.
I
Uh-oh, you hit the mute.
You hit the mute button.
oh sorry. I think that these younger ladies are looking for older men for experiences that they can finance and just resources, money.
Do you think what do you think sexual experiences?
I,
No.
it's possible, but it's possible. Anything is possible, but
No, I think it's more or less the money, thinking they're gonna get taken care of. No.
yeah. But I feel like a lot of it is like a lifestyle thing. Like the Instagram look, like traveling, going on road trips, things like that. It's definitely like experience as well as finances.
Okay.
They trying to chime in too. They
Right?
giving
Okay. I ain't mad. Like I ain't mad at the dogs. Like boom. Tell it.
Exactly. Tell us what y'all know.
Now I want to break this down, and I have a question, and I would like some feedback from you ladies. When you have a certain criteria in dating standard, and this is my standard, then years go by and say you have like 3 or 4 children, like a guy you would never ever date. And then you look at your situation and you're not where you want to be. Why is it that females tend to not keep the standard that they're looking for and scale down?
Well, to be blunt, I think that, they're being realist and that, we go through different phases in life, and what is important to you 20 years ago is maybe not be important to you in the current time. And then also, women can acknowledge that, maybe your value on the dating market has decreased and you have to just work with what you got. You got to acknowledge the landscape that you're in and do what is best for you. So if that means adjusting or lowering your standards, especially if something is something that I think could be argued as being superficial, then it's probably beneficial for you to lower that standard.
Go ahead, Nick. You want to read the comment?
Salvage said, not scaled down, never that.
Okay. What's your thoughts, Nick? And she was of YouTube, Salvage of YouTube. So you guys go ahead and follow her.
Yeah, I'm with her. I don't think I would ever scale down. Your values, like you said, might be a little bit different versus what they were before, but you don't want I wouldn't scale down. I can't do it. I just no. I could never 20 years. Oh hell no. I would never ever. No. I am never lowering my standard. Not going back to that 20 years ago. No.
So you're just going up.
Wouldn't work in a pie factory if all you had to do was taste pies, bruh. Bah. No, I would never. No, you want to. If you know what you want in life, that's what you go after. You go after that individual that has like-minded ideas with you, and just But scaling down, no, I could never go. I'm thinking back 20 years. No, ain't no way in the hell I would ever scale down at this age. No, I'm trying to elevate, continue to elevate.
Okay, go ahead, AmberDee. You want to go to the comic?
Sure. So 100 Cherie Childcare of YouTube. Oh no, yeah, YouTube said, yeah, it's up for show. 100.
Okay. So up. Now, here's the thing. What Amber said, when you look at things realistically, it's like, okay, I'm not in the place that I was before. I'm not in the place that I was before, and now I have this. So maybe, and let me know if I'm wrong, maybe people aren't looking at me. They don't have me on a higher standard anymore. And maybe they're looking at me sideways too, where it's like, can I be accepted? Like this type of guy won't date me because I have A, B, C, and D.
Okay. Let me be the one to answer that for you because I'm presently going through that now. I don't have the same thing in the same situation that I was 2 years ago.
Oh,
But guess what?
read my cup.
Oh, like a boss. Exactly. But guess what? I know what my worth is. I know how hard I work. I know what I'm trying to achieve. I'm working still trying to get my business together. So therefore, regardless of the situation that I'm in now, and not everybody knows the total situation. Looking back where I was a couple years ago, where I can afford whatever. That's why I have a $780 car payment because I was able to afford it when I got it. Yeah. Anyway, compared to now,
Wait a minute. Listen,
$781 a month.
eyes.
I was able to do it when I got it.
All right, okay. All right, go ahead, Wiggle. That is expensive.
I am not going to lower my standard or allow anybody to make me feel less than because I am not where I was 2 or 3 years ago. You got to go all the way effed up because I know the type of person I am. I know my worth and I know where I'm fighting to get back to. This is just a temporary setback for me, but it's not going to be permanent.
Oh.
I keep being told by people my blessing is around the corner, my blessing is coming, and I'm gonna keep holding to that, and I'm gonna keep on my knees praying about that. But I'll never lower my standards or let anybody else make me feel less than because I am not where I was a couple years ago. Not gonna happen. I'm not that chick for you then. Bye. Next.
No, we got honey. Nervous sound effect.
And guess what? The friend that I have now understands that. He's been through some things. He's older. We talked on that level as well about things. And he was like, well, I'm a little bit older than you. This is what I went through. So, and he does not make
How much older, Nick? Like your mother
9 years older. 9 years older.
Oh, look, like your mother rejected him older.
Oh, no.
Or just
I ain't ever.
Wait, let me hear from AmberDee. I just had to throw that out there. Go ahead, AmberDee.
But okay, so I'm just looking at like from like the numbers and studies. Okay, so men, there was a study done that said, I think there was just American men was the sample population, but it said that men's ideal woman is in their like early 20s basically, but obviously women age, and so the conclusion was that men really don't understand that like women age basically, because women's ideal partner, it actually moves up as they age, right? So just things like that. And then like like you said, you have multiple children or whatever. Like and like we've talked about this before, where I personally don't believe people with children should date people that don't have children, because that's a whole can of worms that usually will complicate a relationship that don't have to be complicated. So, and there's a big movement for men to not, even when they got children, talking about they don't want to date a woman with like the absurdity. So just things like that. And if if you feel like, okay, maybe my standards are hindering me from finding a companion, and like I said, especially if there's it's a standard or a preference that's really superficial, then you might want to adjust that. Me personally, I have my voting system, my number system when it comes to dating, and I feel like I have a good system in place, and it's not based on things that will change with age.
Well, let's see what the 8 ball says.
I forgot about the 8 ball.
Okay, and that's a good thing. Both of you. Like, I'm not going to, I don't care what trials and tribulations enter into my life. I'm not going to just settle for someone that I would not date if I hadn't had those roadblocks or trials or tribulations. I'm staying exactly where I am. How many of us have dated somebody that we know we would have never in a million years dated, but we'd be like, Yeah, I give them a chance. I give them a shot. Not my type. How many women have dated people that, and listening audience in the comments, you guys can chime in, that dated someone that wasn't their type? Have you, Nick?
Actually, I have dated one that was not my a couple that wasn't my type, and married him too.
Well, you married? Listen, I'm over here rolling. This is a good time. No, it didn't work out, huh?
It didn't work, so therefore I would never do it again.
Oh, now we know where all that came from. Like, she would never, ever,
Never, never, ever, ever.
okay. It's interesting how you date somebody who you would never date, that's not your type, and you think like, oh, okay, this is a little different. This hasn't been going the way I wanted it to. Let me go this way to see how this works out. And then that person somehow, I guess, they get some self-esteem about themselves, some high self-esteem, and then forget. And then they want to sit there and act like the other people. You'd be like, wait, you just like that other person. Hold on. Oh, do you know? You were the chance guy. You were the chance guy.
And please, everybody, it's not the present husband so that I'm talking about.
Oh,
but
how many times have we had that chance guy? I gave you a chance, and then you blew it. And then when you leave the chance guy, like, dude, you were easy to walk away from. Trust me. And then they want back because they realize, oh, wait a minute, I was the chance. Amber Holler.
But I feel like all exes come back.
The chance guy come back harder.
Actually, yeah.
I feel like all of them come back. I mean, usually at 97% time with like not good intentions or just like, really superficial or whatever. But I don't think that's distinctive. Like most men always circle back.
The first two, yeah. The first one definitely tried.
Would you consider going back to an ex?
Hell no.
Go ahead. What's your thoughts, AmberDee?
There's only
we're talking exes, not theories.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'm
like, wait, why not? My personal exes, you never say never, but I would say it's like a 98% chance of no.
Let me not lie. There's one ex that I may ever consider because like we were still like every so many years talking mess to each other. There's only one that I would actually consider. Other than that, no.
You said same. Now here's the thing. Are they an ex because they disrespected you at some point and that's why you split? Or
it was my fault.
Okay. Now what's
I did something that I wasn't supposed to do.
Okay. I feel like it's not so much outward, like overt disrespect, but just the disrespect of like if you cared so much, you would have treated me better type of thing. Not like, oh, he dogged me out and dog walked me down the street or anything. Nothing crazy, but just like, if you was real with me, like if he if it was
not Chris Brown. Okay.
It was nothing super duper crazy, but it was enough disrespect to where I was like, you know what? It made me realize that you didn't view me the way I viewed you, like, because I wouldn't have treated you like that type of thing.
But that's still a level of disrespect. So
definitely.
Do we consider according to the level of disrespect?
I think so. Because if it was just like, maybe he was a bum or something and he was very apathetic versus, he cheated on you and beat your behind. Those are two very different reasons why a relationship ended. But I think one is much more
physical versus emotional. Those are, you don't see the comparison?
Well, no, I think that if you're with a bum, so
okay, no, we ain't gonna talk about the bum because we're not choosing bums. Remember, we have a standard.
Okay, I'm just speaking hypothetically because there's always a reason why the relationship is ended. Now, your relationship could have ended because he was bummy or he turned into a bum, right? Or because like he beat you up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that those are two they're good reasons to end a relationship, but one is way more severe than the other one.
Is one way more severe because the public can see it?
And you could have permanent damage.
You can have it with both. But
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. Is it because the public can see it? Because here's the thing: when you are in a relationship and nobody knows why it ended, and say it was like emotionally abusive or emotional neglect. So I'm thinking that you're probably looking at emotional neglect and not abuse, where
right.
it's like you grew, so now you know now my needs can be met. That's where I'm thinking that you're coming from versus somebody getting beat up and then everybody see your eye black and you're like, now I got to answer. Not only my heart is here, this is what I want. Okay, you changed, you had counseling, but my entire family and everybody on the block saw me run outside naked with a black eye because you was beating me up. That's why I was like, is it the public or it's like I don't want that, or is it I'm just going to give you a shot to potentially emotionally or verbally or physically abuse me again?
Right. And I feel like there's a big difference between like emotional abuse and emotional neglect. And I'm just thinking of like the most agreeable breakups are like, oh, we just grew apart, or like the flame died down into nothing and it just simmered down. Like it was just, there was no feelings left. And I want
And
more.
that would be your emotional neglect.
Yeah. Like just not sustaining the relationship, not putting work into the relationship or time or energy. That's bad. And it's like, yeah, okay. But that's not getting
But
your
you
butt.
want that at 20? Are you looking for that at 20?
I mean, different strokes, different folks. I don't know.
I think as you age, like when you hit a certain level in life and maturity, then it's like, okay, this is what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like the point you brought up, AmberDee, when you said it becomes a bum. Now, that happens quite often because you'll have somebody that's a go-getter, then they get with you, and then all of a sudden they like, oh, you be like, you going to work? Oh, yeah, I'm about to quit that job. And then they didn't already quit the job. You be like, that's really too attractive. This isn't going to work. What you got, Nick?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna work. Not at all. No, we not doing that. We're trying to progress. Nope, 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 nope.
Read the comment, AmberDee.
So Salvage of YouTube said, or like I'm sick of your ish. Right. So it's like you start out tolerating certain things because it was okay, then time goes on and then you got sick of it. So I mean, I feel like relationships end for all kinds of reasons, and some reasons are much more serious and permanent than others.
Are you willing to put up with more than you would 10 years ago in a relationship?
No, it's decreased.
Oh,
Okay. What about
oh,
no? Okay.
oh.
Elaborate. Why would you say that it decreased?
I just feel like I was more financially unstable 10 years ago, and that I was really still focusing on building and creating stability in my life and for my family. Whereas now I am stable. I have a lot of stability. So my expectation has increased as I have personally increased. So my bandwidth for, undesirable behavior has gone down as I've personally have elevated.
Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm not. No. The elaboration is hell no. I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm not gonna tolerate it. My tolerance level is much lower than what it was back then.
Okay.
No.
So
No. Uh-uh.
you don't care about being alone at this age.
No, I really don't. As long as I get sex every now and then from somebody, I don't care. I
Okay.
don't.
I want to expand on that. So there's actually a study recently done on men aging versus women aging, and how women are doing better in life because in singlehood, because women are better at creating friendships and networks and enjoying their alone time. and being at peace, and they have a better support network than single men. So definitely studies show that women really do thrive in singlehood.
We do. I agree. Do you, Nick?
I most definitely agree. I can have a relationship or not at this age. I could be in a relationship. I don't have to be in a relationship. I don't care as long as I'm happy. But because it's not worth laying next to somebody and you're unhappy. Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. That's not what we gonna do. Not at 52 years old. No. Mm-mm. So I can either have a man or I don't have to. As long as I can get sex every now and then when I want it, I'm good.
Also, just a understanding.
Just an understanding if that's what it comes to. Friends with benefits.
Is that really a thing?
Most definitely, especially in American
Uh-huh.
culture.
Yeah.
So Cherie, are you asking for an elaboration, or you want, or
Yeah. She wants an elaboration.
on what?
What you
Which
talking about? The last part, as far as being okay. And Nick said, as long as she has some sex, she cool.
occasionally? Okay, yeah, because I had a conversation like this a while ago. So sexual access, like a vagina, is way more valuable than sexual access for like a penis, because men are spreading around busted it wide and low. So for a woman to gain sexual access, it's really easy and really requires almost no effort. Whereas men have to put forth a lot of effort to gain sexual access to a vagina. Um, and the reason why we believe it starts in childhood, that women are socialized to really value creating networks and support systems. So even when they're single, they still have other people checking on them. They have a full social life, which is a big component of your mental health.
What's that sound? Hey,
I know that sound.
what's that sound, honey?
That sound is Mel's medical moments.
Oh, let's get it in. Hey, listen, I got some great tips on good brain food. Brain food, brain food, brain food. A list of my favorite brain foods, anyway. Good for the body and the brain. We're going to talk about raw almonds. Almonds are good. It has a significant amount of vitamin E, walnuts, cashews, all those good things. Dark chocolate. I'm not big on chocolate, especially dark chocolate, but you already know that is heart healthy. Okay, it has high antioxidant content. So if you like dark chocolate, go with it. Apples. Apples also contain antioxidants and good fiber. So help keep that colon cleansed. Okay, so if you're swollen around your colon, go ahead and grab an apple. Avocados are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are important to maintain cognitive function. So if you're into the walk, go ahead and do your thing. Cinnamon. I like to put cinnamon on stuff. I like cinnamon applesauce, cinnamon toast.
Mm-hmm.
Throwback like me, you used to like put your toast in the oven. Put some cinnamon, put a little bit of butter on it. Now, I ain't saying the butter is good, but I like it. Cinnamon is spice. That's one of the foods that's highest in the antioxidant area, and it's at the top of the list. It's good for memory. That one is at the top of my list. Kale. If you like your greens are really important. Kale, spinach, and other dark leafy greens. Make sure you get that in your body. Although it's very rich in iron, so grab that apple. Okay? Work with your girl. Grab that apple. It prevents disease and keeps your body working as it should, meaning it keep you going. It keeps you going. You need that blood. You need that blood to pop on that little RBC, help with the oxygen and travel through the body to give it to the blood that it needs. Okay. Brain foods. I'm big on brain foods. If you like what's the word search and stuff like that, those things are good things. If you're not like playing games on your phones, I try not to be on my phone. I know phone people probably would be upset with me, but I'm not big on that. I will grab a book and I'll do a word search and figure out how to spell some words I forgot to spell. forgot how to spell like who. I'm like, who? H-O-W. Hold on. I'm like, wait, how do you spell who? Which one is that one? You know what I'm saying? So please keep your brain functioning if you feel like you have some type of cognitive decrease or you can't recall. Those are some exercises you can do, and those are at the top of my list of foods that I like to eat. So there you have it. Mel's medical moments. Let's see, what did Salvage say? Go ahead, AmberDee.
Okay, so Salvage of YouTube said, I feel it. My phone stays on silent.
Okay, there you go. That's important. How about the people that be thinking that the phone is with you at all times?
Oh my goodness.
They be like, "Oh, I called you." Like, go ahead.
Okay, and
yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like that, but I mean, if I'm busy and I'm engrossed in a project, like I'll just leave it somewhere. Or even if I'm just like doing laundry, I'll leave my phone upstairs while I'm downstairs. So it's definitely a little odd.
Like, I called you, you don't call back. You didn't answer. So
right.
if you're talking to a guy and you get that, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I mean, if it was the first time that happened, I would just explain like, oh, I don't keep my phone on me all like that. Just to clarify.
Okay, so you don't look at that as a sign of
insecurity.
No.
Well, I wouldn't say insecurity, but that's a good one. Controlling is where I'm
no, because if y'all are just start talking and getting to know each other, then they wouldn't know your schedule. They don't know how you are with technology. So it's just an opportunity to enlighten them. Like, okay, this is my modus operandi. And, either he's going to like it or not, because obviously it'll be something that comes up over and over again because that's how you relate to your phone. So if it's the first time, yeah, I'll just be like, I'm just not by my phone sometimes.
Okay. Well, here we have it, lovely people. Today's footnote is, don't feel bad about not being invited to the table. Why is that? You weren't invited to the table because you're the competition. You just didn't know it. Thank you, lovely people, for joining in to Shop Talk with Mel. Make sure you guys join us and subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is located below. And for the listening audience, the YouTube channel is at Shop Talk with Mel. You can check your girl out, Nick Du Bois and AmberDee, doing it up. We want to pray for the people of East Palestine. And hopefully things work out in their favor, and any other town that this had occurred in. And by this being a small town, it's actually bringing light to what is going on, what has been going on. This is not the first time that this company, train company, have been sued. So I just hope everything works out. Let's just pray for our country. And one thing I'm going to add to you, I know I don't do the politics, but I got to do it. This part. With President Biden going into Ukraine, I understand wanting to help another country, but we need help here. Our eggs are high. Look at me like, I'm sitting there like, you giving billions over there. I understand that, but we're losing over here. So, and I understand share alike, but we got to take care of the home first. All right, lovely people, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. I truly appreciate you guys. Like I said, join the YouTube channel. Thank you for listening on your favorite podcast at Shop Talk with Mel. So you can listen to us later at any time, okay? I appreciate you guys joining in and taking some time out of your Saturday to listen to us. Have a good time on a Saturday. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. Shop Talk right here every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Peace.